Hi, welcome to this course. Myself Muhammad Yaqub, founder of Scratchlearn. So in this project, we'll be using YOLO V7 pre-trained model, and then we will be going to implement real-time object detection with the help of real-time video feeds, and then we are going to use Tkinter GUI for the user-friendly interface. This is what we are going to learn in this project.
I'm going to give a brief introduction about the project, and the project is called Object Detection using YOLO V7. Object detection is a deep learning task used to identify where an object is located in an image or frame. And we are going to use the YOLO V7 algorithm. It stands for view once and look once. It is an open source model that has been trained on up to 80 classes. The class names include person, car, animal names, and so on. These are the objects we are going to classify and detect using the pre-trained YOLO V7 tiny model. So now let's move on to implementing the project. First, we need to access a library for implementing the project. The time which is used to calculate the current time, and the path library is used to access data from the folder. CV2 is used for image processing. Torch is a deep learning library used to train and build deep learning applications. This is for the Torch backend. Then numpy is a framework used to handle RF data. Then it's used to load the model and the utils reader to handle the dataset. This is used to check the image size and to verify whether the requirements are successfully installed or not. This is used to display images. Non-max suppression is used to. Bounding box inference is used to improve the accuracy of bounding box detection. The classifier is used to plot the bounding box on the image. Then it will be stored in the folder. Then this is used to allocate CUDA, which is for running with the GPU. Thread refers to a multi-processing task. NumPy is used here. Is there for a GI implementation. This is a model inference function where the function name is detect. We need to pass two arguments, which are the source and the model weights. The weight file is elevation time, PT. This weight file contains model parameters such as weights and biases, as well as information about the model layers. Source here means the image or video. The weights are elevation, time, PT. Usually we want to display the image or not, which is easy to do, right? Take the direction information from the text file. The image size is 640, so they want to influence it or not. That is, we set it to true, and then next it checks whether the input belongs to RTSP, RTMP or HTTP. But actually our input is a video file. Then if this is true, it stores the detection information in a TXT file. Then the device is actually set to CPU. Since we don't have any GPU machines, so we set it to CPU. This makes it easy to load the model and check whether the input size is 640 or any other size. Actually we set it to true. Then if this condition is satisfied, the model is loaded in test mode. Then this is a function that makes it easier to load the names and colors. The names are stored in the TXT file. These are the class names. Then we run the inference using the CPU. We set the image input including parameters like width and height. So do you want to use the full parameter or not? So in the line, then we set the source to 0. A source of 0 means an integrated camera. If you want to use an external camera, you set it to 1. CV2. Video capture makes it easier to process frames one by one. Here we are processing each frame individually. Next, these are the images with the height based on the trained model's height. The model is trained using 640 by 640, and then the axes are converted into the dimensions of the image, which include the channel, the image's height and width. Then it is converted into a torch numpy array. So do you want to use FPS 16, FP32 or Unit 8? After normalizing the data, normalization is the standardization of the input data. If we normalize the data, it will fall within the range of 0 to 1. After that, we need to check whether the device is a CPU or not. Then we need to verify whether the images have been correctly converted, including their specific width and height. Next, we need to perform model inference. During inference, there are no gradients, so this does not apply. Then apply non-maximum suppression with a threshold of 0.2 and a 0.452 deduction for the coordinates. After that, perform inference one by one using the predict function. Then convert them into scale coordinates. Simply apply the rescaling to the image. Then display your results. In this variable, we can obtain the object name, and in this function, we can get the detection results, which makes it easier to plot your bounding boxes and names on the image. Then once the final inference is done, and if you initially we set it to 2, then we can see the object in the frame. If you want to quit this program, you should press Q, then the inference will stop. First, we need to check whether the input files are in MP4, AVI, RTSP or RTMP format. If you are going to use video, you can directly provide the file path. If you want to use a built-in camera, you should set the value to 0. If it is any other external camera like a webcam, you need to set the value to 1 in the video capture function. Next we need to select the model file, YOLO V7 tiny PT. Then we need to start the detection process. This is the input file. Select the video in the select function. Then choose the model weights, YOLO 7 tiny PT, and then start detection. Before that, we need to make sure the model files are correctly placed in the object detection YOLO 7 folder. Then finally, close the window once the inference is complete. Next, we use Tkinter to display the inference results in a Tkinter window. The window is named object detection. The window width and height are 500 and 300 respectively. And the window title is object detection using YOLO 7. This is the title. Then select the video source, select the weight file, and click the start button. If you want to exit the program, just select exit. This is where the wait and select file functions are located. Finally, it should run continuously. Once it is finished, we can exit the window. Next, I'm going to guide you on how to run the inference. Tkinter py file. For that, we need to open the terminal. Open a new terminal. First, we need to install the necessary packages. The packages are listed in the requirements txt file. Now I'm going to install them. These are the packages. Type pip install or requirements txt, then press enter. Now the packages have been successfully installed. Now we can go ahead and run inference. Tkinter py. Copy this command, then type Python inference, Tkinter py, and press enter. This will open the Tkinter window where we need to provide both the input video file and the model weight file. We have to wait a few seconds for the code to run. Now the Tkinter window has opened and we can select the input file here. I have an input file, input video 1, so I'll open it. Next, I'm going to select a model file, lav7 tiny pt, open. Next, I'm going to start the detection. Now the inference has started. It's detecting GAU, objects in your frame, such as a car. In this video, only car images are present. If you want to use any other input video of your choice, you can do so. Finally, I'm going to exit the inference. Just click exit. Now the program has successfully stopped.
Hope you enjoyed the course. Course will surely give you solid foundation in computer vision, and then it will help you on your final year projects also, and then surely it will help on your cracking your job interviews. While implementing this project, if you face any kind of difficulty while implementing the project or while setting up an environment, or if you get any kind of doubt, you can feel free to put in the comment section. We will surely help you in as soon as possible in a better way. Thank you.